Hello, welcome to this short video, Nutrition and Health Claims. My name's Andy Bowles and I'm a food lawyer. Now, you may be watching this video as part of our online training service, in which case you can download some additional resources such as the presentation behind me. You can also watch a webinar which is about an hour long on this topic, providing a bit more information. But if you're watching this on our YouTube channel, you are of course very welcome. Today's topic is nutrition and health claims. So what's the difference? Well, a nutrition claim is very much something about the nutrients held within a food. So things like fat, sugars, fiber, that sort of thing. They also relate to things like energy. So a claim such as low energy or high in fiber or a source of protein, these would be nutrition claims. Now, a health claim is something that states or suggests or implies that a relationship exists between a food or one of its constituents and health. So you've got this link between something that's said or implied, and that's quite important in this area of law. You don't actually have to be explicit. You don't have to say this food will do this thing to make you feel better. You can actually just imply that the food might have a beneficial effect. There are lots of different health claims, different categories. The main ones are the types of health claims would be the general function claims, risk reduction, so that's like a disease risk reduction, referring to children type claims. You've got non-specific general claims. So something like a superfood. If you are making a product and you decide to use the term superfood or wellness or good for you, these are non-specific general claims. They're actually saying that there is a relationship between consuming your food and health, although you're not actually making a specific claim there, it's just good for you. What the law requires, if you're making a general, non-specific health claim, then you must link it to an approved specific health claim. So I might say my porridge is good for you because I might have an approved health claim relating to the presence of beta-glucans, for example. So it's things, that's how that should work. General principles, I'm going to come back to that in a moment, but general principles, claims have to be substantiated, accurate, truthful, not misleading. And another hugely important area of this law is it does not just apply to food labels. It applies to claims made about foods on a commercial basis anywhere. So on social media, so whether you're on X, whether you're on YouTube, whether you're on Facebook, the same rules apply to the claims made about your food as they would on the label. The same applies to websites. If you're selling products from a website, then certainly in my experience, I found food businesses who are willing to stick to the rules when it comes to the label, but then make outrageous claims on their websites. Same rules apply. So you must make sure that if you're marketing foods and you're using health claims, that everywhere that you're making claims falls within the scope of the law. So let's have a look at nutrition claims first. Nutrition claims can only be made if they're listed in the annex to the Nutrition and Health Claim Regulation. And each claim has some criteria that must be complied with. So just as an example, we have, this is the annex out of the regulation, but obviously there's a lot more to it than this. It's just an example. It says the claim low energy. And this is a very typical sort of criteria that needs to be complied with. Underneath it says a claim that a food is low in energy and any claim likely to have the same meaning for the consumer may only be made where the product does not contain more than 40 kilocalories per 100 grams for solids or more than 20 kilocalories per 100 ml for liquids. And then it goes on to talk about tabletop sweeteners. But there are some key phrases there. A claim that it is low in energy. Any claim likely to have the same meaning. So you can use the term low energy, but you can use, some marketing companies like to substitute some of the words. Instead of saying low fat, for example, they'll say skinny, but it means the same thing. It doesn't have to be exactly the same thing. So if you're calling a low fat food skinny food, then the criteria for low fat will apply. So you see how that actually means that when you're making a claim, a nutrition claim on your label, you need to be quite careful. With health claims, you've got reference, as I've mentioned, to a general non-specific benefit to a nutrient or food for overall good health or health-related well-being may only be made if accompanied by a specific authorised health claim. This is the most common type of health claim I come across, where somebody is using a term like good for you or wellness or superfood or something of this nature, very general, non-specific. But they fall foul of the regulations because they then don't cross-reference it to a specific authorised health claim that is relevant to that food. Also, trademarks and brand names fall within the scope. So you can't have a trade name, you're something like the Wellness Company. If you do that, that is a non-specific health claim. The health claim is within the name of the food. So if you're going to have a brand name, like you can see one on there, the Goodness Heart First cereal, well, these are non-specific. Certainly the goodness element of that, Goodness Superfoods Limited, is a non-specific health claim. There would need to be an authorised health claim to accompany that. The authorised health claims you'll see on products, if you're not familiar with them, they tend to be not very nice in nature. They're not particularly very poetic. What they tend to be is rather stoic. They'll have something like, calcium helps maintain bone structure or something like that. It's a very, very scientific type statement. But that is a specific health claim. And for any specific claim you make about your food, you need to use an authorised specific health claim. Now, health claims, if you're going to use a specific health claim, you can only use them if you also include on your labelling the following. A statement indicating the importance of varied and balanced diet and a healthy lifestyle. Quantity of the food and pattern of consumption required to obtain the claimed beneficial effect. Where appropriate, a statement addressed to the persons who should avoid using the food. An appropriate warning for products that are likely to present a health risk if consumed to excess. Now, I said health claims, specific health claims, need to be approved. They need to be authorised. And so we actually have a register in Great Britain of the health claims that have actually already been authorised. When we left the European Union, we adopted their list. But since leaving the European Union, clearly the European Union have approved other health claims and we've approved our own. So there is a bit of divergence now. But you can check that. If you want to actually make an application for a health claim, then it goes to the UK Nutrition Health Claims Committee for them to consider. So it's actually part of Department of Health and Social Care. This is not a Food Standards Agency issue health claims. Common non-compliances, the things I tend to find out there that people get wrong all the time, is general and non-specific health claims without a specific authorised. The use of the words wellness, good for you, that sort of thing, without there being a specific reference to an authorised health claim. Using a brand or trade name. There was, when the regulations came out, there was a long period for businesses to actually change their brand names or trade names or meet the requirements of the regs by getting authorised claims put in place. But that transitional period has expired. Using unsubstantiated nutrition claims, basically saying high in protein when actually it isn't. There isn't enough protein in there to justify the claim. Non-approved health claims is a biggie. Remember, if you're using a health claim, a specific one, for you've got high level of calcium or high level of protein, you need to go to the register and use the authorised health claim for that particular feature. So you can't just put on, we've got high protein, and high protein will make you a more upstanding member of the community. That isn't going to happen. You need to make sure that you focus on the authorised health claims for protein. And you can search them and you can use the word. And you can deviate from the wording slightly, but you don't want to stray too far from the wording, because once you stray too far from the wording, it becomes unauthorised. When you're making a claim about vitamins or minerals in a health claim, then you need to make sure, as well as getting the health claim wording correct and putting all the additional wording on there, you need to make sure that your vitamins and minerals are listed in the nutritional panel in the appropriate format. And another big one, as I mentioned earlier on, is actually claims being made on websites and in social media. When it comes to that, it's worth making the point the Advertising Standards Authority are responsible for broadcast media adverts. So if you are putting something on your website and it is untrue, it is not correct, or if you're broadcasting an advert on telly or you're sticking something in printed media, then the Advertising Standards Authority may well be investigating you. It's worthwhile having a look at the Advertising Standards Authority website. They publish all of their the results of any of their investigations. So if you type into the search bar on the investigations page something like food supplements, for example, have a look at the health claims that have been rejected, and that might help you develop lawful health claims on your own foods. Thank you for listening. That is just nutrition and health claims in a nutshell. That's just one out of 100 videos, so hopefully you'll join me on the others. Cheers.